Today, we are witnessing a major political dam break on Capitol Hill. After months of intense political fighting, opposition, and strategic delays, including a historic government shutdown, the House of Representatives has just voted overwhelmingly to release the Jeffrey Epstein files. The final tally was a stunning 427 to 1. The Senate quickly followed, passing the bill with unanimous consent. But the real story, the one that's causing shockwaves, isn't just the vote. It's the whiplash-inducing 180-degree reversal from the man who had been blocking it for months, President Donald Trump. This decision has, in the words of one Republican congresswoman, ripped MAGA apart. Let's break down how this happened and what it means. For months, this legislation, the Epstein Files Transparency Act, was dead on arrival. President Trump and GOP leadership, including Speaker Mike Johnson, were fiercely opposed to it. The bill was being pushed by a bipartisan duo, Republican Thomas Massie and Democrat Ro Khanna, but it couldn't get to the floor. So they used a rare procedural move called a discharge petition. If they could get 218 members to sign it, they could force a vote, completely bypassing Speaker Johnson. This is where the political maneuvering went into overdrive. Democrats allege that Speaker Johnson used every tool he had to stop that 218th signature from happening. This included, they claim, delaying the swearing-in of Democratic Representative Adelita Grijalva after her special election. Why? Because of the 50-plus-day government shutdown, the longest in U.S. history, which kept the House paralyzed and kept her from taking her seat. The moment that shutdown ended last week, Grijalva was sworn in. Just moments later, she walked to the clerk and provided the decisive 218th signature. The vote was officially forced. This petition wasn't just signed by Democrats. It was signed by several high-profile MAGA Republicans, including Lauren Boebert and, most notably, Marjorie Taylor Greene. This act of defiance triggered a civil war within the GOP. President Trump and his team personally reached out to Boebert and others, trying to get someone to move their names from the petition. They failed. Days later, President Trump publicly unendorsed Marjorie Taylor Greene. Greene, standing with Epstein survivors outside the Capitol, fired back. She said the Epstein issue had ripped MAGA apart, and in response to reports Trump had called her a traitor, she had this to say.
Let me tell you what a traitor is. A traitor is an American that serves foreign countries and themselves. A patriot is an American that serves the United States of America. And Americans like the women standing behind me. With the vote guaranteed to pass and the internal rebellion growing, President Trump's opposition crumbled. Over the weekend, he abruptly reversed himself on Truth Social. He told Republicans to support the bill, claiming he had nothing to hide and that the entire push for the files was, in his words, a Democrat hoax. Just today, he doubled down on that exact language.
The completes of President Trump are less easy to dismiss. Democrats in the Capitol are highly skeptical of this newfound support. Congressman Ted Lieu pointed out that the president doesn't need a bill. He could, quote, order these files to be released right now. So why the sudden flip-flop? House Democratic Caucus Chair Pete Aguilar had a simple theory. This is about them knowing that they're going to lose. And I think the president clearly doesn't want to be viewed as a lame duck or on the losing side of an issue with the Republican conference. Speaker Mike Johnson, who had also opposed the bill, was left in an impossible position. He ended up voting for the measure, but was visibly furious, calling it a political show vote. He argued the bill doesn't do enough to protect victims, pointing to language that says the Attorney General may redact victim information, not shall. The bill's authors shot back, saying that was a falsehood, and that dozens of survivors were at the Capitol cheering for the bill's passage. Hours after the vote, Speaker Johnson was still fuming, telling reporters he was deeply disappointed that the Senate rushed to pass the bill without his requested changes. Meanwhile, Epstein survivors who had gathered in the House gallery cheered and hugged as the vote passed. But they, too, are lashing out at the president's handling of the issue. One survivor, Gina Lisa Jones, who says she voted for Trump, had this message for him. I beg you, President Trump, please stop making this political. It is not about you. Your behavior on this issue has been a national embarrassment. What do you think is really behind this sudden reversal? Was it a genuine change of heart or pure political calculation to avoid a massive public defeat? Let me know your thoughts in the comments below. The Epstein Files Transparency Act now heads to the president's desk, and he has said he will sign it. The political infighting that this bill exposed, however, is far from over. The cracks within the Republican Party have been laid bare for all to see. We will be following this story closely and will update you on what is and, just as importantly, what isn't released from these files. If you found this analysis helpful, please hit the like button and be sure to subscribe and turn on notifications so you don't miss our future updates. Thanks for watching.